Friday morning conversation with
Kelsea Ballerini.
How's it going?
Good morning.
How exciting for you. You have another record.
How exciting for you. You have a new studio.
Yeah, but we've been in here a lot.
I know. It's new to me.
Yeah.
It's new to me, guys.
So look at you. I was looking at your, by the way, the record came out today. So you wrote a song with Ed Sheeran called Love and Hate.
Yeah.
How does that get set up to where you get to write with Ed Sheeran?
It's actually a good story. So I was in LA doing The Voice, and I had like a day in between taping and being back on the road to meet up with the Keith tour. And I was just gonna take the day to sleep. And I messaged Ross and I was like, hey, can you just send me some tracks to write to? I wasn't having a lot of time to write, but I really wanted to like exercise the muscle. He was like, actually, are you in town tomorrow? Ed wants to write. And I was like, who's Ed? He was like, I'm writing with Ed Sheeran. He wants to write with you. And so I booked a red eye. Ross sent me 4 tracks and I wrote like different like little bits of songs to each of the 4 tracks. Went home, showered, went straight to the right, and we wrote all 4.
So you flew back to Nashville right with Ed Sheeran?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought since you were in LA, you were going to say you did it there.
So he lived in Nashville for like 6 months. And my favorite story is after that, he actually was a really big fan of Day Drunk, Morgan's song at the time. And so Morgan was doing some release party that night. So we did the write. Him and Ross finished the demo, met me at Morgan's release party, and we ended up hanging out that night, and I had to go let my dog out. And so he was like, well, we'll just go to your place and then we'll go out to the bar or whatever. And so we went to my place and I took the dog out. They decided to take shots and I got back upstairs and Ed Sheeran had decided to sign the wall.
In your house, randomly.
Just randomly took a Sharpie to the wall. Oh, so now we have this wall of people that have been over, and anyone who comes over now, we're like, take the Sharpie, let's go. And so we just have like random artwork and like random people signing the wall all the time now.
Amy, how do you feel about me signing people's walls randomly? Do you think that would go over well?
I don't know that it should be done randomly, but if they ask you to, I'm fine with it.
I'm going to play a little bit of this. This is Love and Hate from Kelsea's record. Here is Love and Hate. Here you go. The new record, Kelsea, is out today. Let's talk about which of these songs did you feel like was the most vulnerable, where you were like, I don't know, if I put this out, it's going to kind of press back on me a little bit.
The whole record really is. That's the whole like point of it being called Kelsea. It's like really, really self-aware, self-deprecating at times. But
which one? Come on, which one was the most?
LA. I write a song by myself on every album, and that tends to be the most honest because I can't filter it with anyone else's opinions or thoughts. So LA is probably the one that's like a little deeper than the rest.
And LA was about you balancing how people feel about you based on you being, you tell me. I mean, I feel like I know based on what I've heard, but you go ahead.
Well, it depends on how you listen to it. It's kind of about the tug of war of me loving traveling and loving working, but also really newly understanding the value of home and like putting roots in somewhere. I didn't really know that before this last season of life, so it's about that. It's also about, this is the first album where I wrote outside of Nashville. It was the first album that I wrote with people that weren't necessarily country songwriters or country producers, and so I kind of had this moment of panic of like, oh my gosh, if I put a beat drop in this song instead of a banjo, are people gonna think that I'm jumping ship? And that's what the line in that song says, will Tennessee be mad at me? It's kind of a tug of war of all those things.
Here's a clip of LA.
Ooh.
I've got some famous friends that I could call, but I don't know if I'm cool enough. And what's worse than spending time alone is one of them not picking up. It's hard to grow and time to go, but some days I wanna stay. I got a love and hate relationship with LA. I got a love and hate relationship with LA.
The first part of that says you have a bunch of famous friends you could call. Who's your most famous friend that you could call without going, hey, I'm gonna call you later? Like you just randomly call up.
Oh, that's a hard question. I don't know. Halsey?
You could just call her and not just hit her up.
Yeah, because like there's friends that you can call for advice, but there's also friends that you can be like, what? Like what are you doing? How's tour? How's your boyfriend?
Like checking
How's your
in.
dog? Yeah.
Like checking in.
Yeah.
So Halsey would be your
maybe.
most famous check-in friend.
I think so.
Who would be the most random person that's famous that we know that you could call in? You could just call up. We'd be like, wow, we didn't know Kelsey knew this person.
That's a great question. Like someone really random, like Chelsea Handler.
Okay, that's good.
Is that random?
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't know you even knew her.
Okay,
See, that's
Chelsea
good.
Handler.
Do you do? I was reading that you eat ranch on your steak.
I do. I'm trying to get better because I'm trying to be an adult. And adults don't put ranch on steak.
Well, Amy's a big ranch on lots of stuff, huh?
Pizza?
Yeah, ranch on pizza for
Yes,
sure.
ma'am.
But like steak, I do ketchup.
You do?
So
Okay.
I feel like that's-
Okay.
I think all this is a
we're not
southern.
adulting.
I think all this is a southern thing though, more than
I know, I think it is.
a young thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
we just like condiments on our meats, regardless of how fancy
That's
the
true.
meat is.
That's true.
We don't
And-
have a sophisticated enough palate.
yeah, and growing up, like we didn't have like fillets. We had like T-bones or whatever. So
We
like,
had
you need to
steaks
put
from the
some-
dollar store. That's what we
Yeah.
used to do. When
we
it
went
was
to Kroger and got the clearance meat. Like we need a little something on it.
They had this thing on Reddit. They do Ask Me Anythings. And so I was going to ask you a few questions here. These are some of the questions I asked to people.
Okay.
Your first online username, like
AIM
what was
back
that?
in the day. Ballet Mania. That was my first email. balletmania@aol.com.
Like ballet the dance.
Like ballet the dance. I danced for 10 years and I like really loved it, but then I was like, everyone's gonna keep saying, oh, Ballerini the ballerina, you know? And then I also like hit puberty and got really long. I'm like super like tall and lanky now, so I lost all my coordination. But yeah, I was obsessed with ballet for a long time. Ballet Mania.
Ballet Mania. And when they retired AIM, were you like, there goes a chapter, a season?
There goes a season of life. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, AIM was like, that's how you like talk to
Me
people.
too. I made friends on
100%.
AIM that I still am friends with today.
Yeah.
I was Radio Bobby. What were you? Did you have
I didn't have it. No, I didn't AIM or AOL.
Eddie? Did you?
But yours
Of course.
aged well. Like Radio Bobby you're still Radio Bobby. You know what I mean? Like yours aged well. I'm not Ballet Mania anymore. Like, can you imagine? No.
Eddie?
I was Edman15 with two D's though, at like Eddie, EDD.
Edman 15.
Yeah.
Morgan, number 2, did you have one? Or was that
but
before
it,
you?
it was no, I had one, but it was just boring. It was my first name and one of my middle names, so Morgan Lane, and then like
that's
4 or
cute.
5 was
Aged
numbers.
well.
Yes.
What phase did you go through as a kid? If you had to pick, what phase did you go through?
The cringiest phase?
Yeah.
Had a lot of them. I think the cringiest phase was like when people started uploading like vlogs to YouTube. But like famous people did that. But, like I did it just about my life as a middle schooler. No joke. And so like me and my friends, like friends that I'm really close with still, would like just sit in front of the camera and just talk about like random stuff that happened that day in middle school. Like it's great. They're there.
It seems like in most interviews, or a lot of interviews, they'll find something of you as a young kid talking about like a Jonas brother.
Oh my gosh.
And then they play it in front of them. It's constantly that thing, which is always pretty funny.
Yeah, you're talking about Brad. Brad did that to me on
Yeah.
the Brad Paisley show.
And yeah, and they were there, right?
They were there.
Yeah.
They saw it. Yep,
That's fun.
they sure did.
One more. These are from the Reddit AMA. What's the most successful prank you've ever pulled?
When I was still living in Knoxville, I had this ex, you know, as you do, and I wanted to pull a prank on him, so I tatered his yard. Have you heard of this?
You tatered it. I've heard
tatered
of
it.
forking. I've heard of soaping. What's a tater?
You tater it. So you get a bunch of instant mashed potatoes, and you sprinkle them all over the yard, and you let the hose run.
Oh, that's funny.
And it turns the yard into mashed potatoes. You
What?
tater the yard.
How
Oh my
many? How
goodness.
many boxes of mashed potatoes does that take?
Oh, I mean, we cleaned out Kroger
You did.
Yes.
Was he living on his own or with his parents?
with his parents.
Oh, I bet they were not happy with you.
I bet
They were not happy with
Because
me.
we would buy toilet paper to roll people's houses, and
Yeah.
they would know when we were doing it.
Absolutely.
Because we'd go, I need 3 cases of toilet paper. And they would go, okay, kid. When you go and buy a bunch of mashed potatoes,
They
do
probably think it's like Thanksgiving early or something. Yeah.
Kelsea Ballerini's here. Her new record called Kelsea is out. You self-titled this-ish?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So why?
Well, like the first EP I ever put out was called like Kelsea Ballerini. And then after that, like I thought that was going to be the only thing that I self-titled, but we went through a bunch of different names and themes for this one. There's a song on it called Overshare that I thought was going to be the title of it for a long time. But the more I listened to it, the more I just felt like it was really, it's a lot of different sounds. It's a lot of different lyrical content. It's just a lot of stuff on here. So I think it's kind of me doing a lot of self-discovery. So it felt like it was a first name basis album.
How long have you and Morgan been married now?
2.5 years.
What's a piece of a marriage advice that you would give to people going, Kelsey, give me some marriage advice?
Go to therapy. Go to therapy.
Is that something that you were given as advice?
No, actually. Like, we didn't do any therapy, like, premarital or anything like that. I always had, like, a really negative connotation with therapy. But then, you know, like, we don't have normal lives and we don't have normal schedules and that kind of stuff. And so we were like, you know what? Let's, like, get ahead of this. And, like, let's make sure that we're in a healthy place all the time. And let's also be able to call out when we're not and have help. So, yeah, I would highly recommend it.
What would 26-year-old Kelsey tell 16-year-old Kelsey?
Oh, my gosh. She'd give her a hug. I don't know. I think there's so much beauty in being naive. I really do. So I would not tell her anything. I'd just give her a hug.
How's the dog? How's Dibs?
He's good. I had to give him to my mom yesterday because I'm gone for a week and it made me cry.
How did it go training Dibs? Like, what was that scenario for you? Because I'm struggling a bit on and off. Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, and the lab in him is super just like floppy and playful all the time. So when he's not with us or my mom, he's with a trainer and she helps him with all that. But he's 5 and he just now became like a good boy.
At 5?
At 5.
We're working on the good boy with mine. He has moments of good boy.
Yep.
Then he has the devil. He's like the devil hour twice a day.
Especially if he gets like the zoomies. Like if he's like has energy just ready to go, he is the devil. But he's so cute. Like, I don't care.
Do you have your phone with you?
You
don't have to. Okay, what's your background wallpaper on your phone?
Speak of the devil.
It is your dog.
Yeah.
You know what? So is mine, actually.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's Morgan's? Is it of you or is it?
It's of us.
That's
on
funny.
vacation.
Does he
And you
guilt
have
you?
Dibs.
No, because Dibs was around before Morgan was around. He's like my first love, you know? He knows.
What piece of advice from another artist has stuck with you? We talked about advice you would
God.
give. Like, think back to you being, and you still are, and probably still taking advice. I think we always should be
Lord.
taking advice.
All the time.
Who talked to you early and was like, hey, Kelsey, this is going to happen?
It was Taylor, but it was Taylor when I was on radio tour. And I was so worried about like misstepping or saying something wrong or not being eloquent, you know, because I was so young. And I remember going to her and just being like, you did this young. What do I do? And she was like, you're overthinking everything. Like, just go in and talk about, if you can't talk about your own music, like, this is what you do. This is what you know. Like, you should be able to talk about it and don't worry about the boundaries. Also, another great piece of advice from her was years later, I was like, Taylor, how do you make friends now? How do you know who your friends are now? And she said, it's the people that you hang out with that don't always leave with a photo. Isn't that like prominent?
That's why I take photos with everyone.
Right.
Everywhere I go, I take a photo. Because I'm
That's
like,
why
we
we-
ain't friends.
You're like,
We still
So,
get
like-
pictures with you too.
And not like, hey, can I get a photo, but just somehow while you're hanging out trying to find a photo.
yeah, or like trying to
up,
get
or,
a
like,
photo
to
with you at
post
some
it.
point during the hang. I just thought it was very interesting.
That is good advice. Because it's not, can we take a picture? It's just a photo, period.
Just to prove that you were together, you know, that kind of thing. I thought it was very, good.
That's
advice.
good. Yeah, that is good. I want to play a clip of this song that you did with Kenny.
Oh my gosh.
This is called Half of My Hometown.
It's my favorite song.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
Why?
my favorite song I've ever written.
Why?
Oh, I just think it really captures how I feel right now about me being gone a lot and me starting to understand the value of roots. It's really where I'm at right now.
And then how do you get Kenny Chesney on a song?
Oh my gosh.
Do you call him? Does somebody
I had
call
like
him?
a blackout moment of boldness. You know me, like I'm not a bold person. I'm like pretty chill, but like we wrote this song and I wrote it with Shane and Jimmy, Nicole, and Ross, and he's worked with all of them.
You're saying a lot of names. You need to give last names here. Shane McAnally.
Ross Copperman, Jimmy Robbins, Nicole Gallion, and they've all worked with Kenny, and we wrote this song down in Florida and did the vocals that night. It was like 2 a.m. and I was like, you guys, I have to send this to Kenny. He's my hometown hero. He's from Knoxville. He makes Knoxville cool. Like, I have to send this to him just to see. And I had his number because a couple of years before, he was up in New York and I was playing the PlayStation Theater, the one in Times Square, like a couple weeks later, but they have a scrolling marquee of who's playing. And I guess he saw my face and my name on the marquee, took a photo of it, got my number, and just sent me out of the blue. He said, "Hey, this is Kenny Chesney. Proud of you, hometown girl."
Oh, nice.
And it was like 2.5, 3 years ago, and it was so encouraging to me at that point. So I had his number because I saved it. And
then you just sent him a song?
I just sent him a song.
Nice. I would never do that. Nice for you.
I wouldn't do it on any other day. I don't know what was up, but I did. Yeah.
And what's his response?
He texted the next day and he was like, "This song made me emotional listening to it. I love it. I'm proud of you. Let me figure out my plan," because he's putting out music too, and make sure that I can like really align and do this with you. And then he came back and he was like, "I'm down." I was like, "Okay."
Wow.
That's pretty cool. Here it is. Here's Half of My Hometown from Kelsea and Kenny Chesney.
Hometown, still hanging around, still talking about that one touchdown. They're still wearing red and black, go Bobcats, while the other half of my hometown, they all got out. Some went north, some went south, still looking for a feeling, half of us ain't found. So stay or leave, part of me will always be half of my hometown.
That's so cool to have Kenny on a song.
Oh, coolest
Yeah,
thing
that is
ever.
cool. When
Can't
you
believe
play
it.
a show, what song gets the biggest scream?
Peter Pan.
Really?
Peter Pan and Miss Me More. Yeah, it's interesting. Like those songs really taught me the difference between like a hit and a number one. Like those were bigger than anything else for me.
That Peter Pan video must have cost a fortune.
It did.
Because she's like out on the, like a
Middle of
field
nowhere.
It was
with the
like
dress.
45 minutes outside of Vegas, and it was a 2-day shoot, and it was in a dried up lake bed, and we had like stunt people doing plane stuff. Yeah, it was crazy.
Kelsey's playing our iHeart Country Festival in Austin, Texas,
Yeah.
May 2nd. Tickets at texasboxoffice.com. Going to be a big old show there. Nominated for Female Artist of the Year at ACM Awards.
Woo.
Good to see you back in that.
Thank you.
Let's see. And I'm going to end with this, Kelsey, because I feel like I was going to do this at the end,
Yeah,
and I hate to do this to you.
it's okay.
What's your T-shirt you have on there?
Oh, don't do this to me.
No.
Don't do this to me.
No.
Don't do this
Kelsey,
to
they
me.
do it to me every
And I wouldn't,
time.
I wouldn't do it
Oh,
if
no,
we
no,
weren't
no,
friends.
no.
I wouldn't do it. But what's your T-shirt there?
Oh, no. I'm actually going to blank.
No, but say your T-shirt though.
Bobby, it's AC/DC.
Okay, now.
I didn't grow up on rock.
But you're wearing the T-shirt, and so the rule though that I'm really trying to implement into society is, even if you don't know, you should learn real quick. Can you name 3 AC/DC songs?
No.
Let's try one.
You got this, Kelsey.
You can do. Just guess some
on.
words that you think might be an AC/DC song.
Back to Black.
Close. Back in Black. I'll give her that one.
Oh,
for one.
I was thinking about Amy Winehouse.
Okay, well, Back in Black though is that dun 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 dun. You familiar with that?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Can you do another?
Um,
Back in Black. Go ahead.
No one's helping me.
But no, on purpose.
Come on,
but
you
you'll
got it.
know them as the thing. You'll know "Shook Me All Night Long."
you
yeah,
shook me
Shook Me.
all night.
So
Yeah.
you know that one, and you'll probably know "Highway to Hell."
Yeah.
I'm on a highway to hell. You know that? Okay. All right, just making
See?
sure. You
So
know
Hey guys,
them.
I didn't grow up on rock.
But it just took a second to Google before you
But
came
it's
in
a
here with
really
that shirt
cute
on.
shirt, and she shouldn't.
It's a cute shirt and I have a jacket over it.
Yeah,
can't
it's
even see it,
basically
Bobby.
it looks like just D.
I know,
I'm
but I know
mortified.
the logo. You know, Kelsey, I'm proud
Morgan
of
is going to hear this and just disclaim me.
because they're from
Disown
Australia.
Me. Disclaim me? Disown me.
Both, but they're from Australia. They're
They
from
are.
his home.
100%.
Okay, Kelsey, I hope everybody checks out your record
Thank
today.
you.
A lot of songs on there.
Yeah.
LA is the one that you wrote by yourself.
Yeah.
You have a song with Halsey. You have a song with Chesney. You have what else? We're listing the things right now. You have a song that you wrote with Ed Sheeran. You
Yep.
have a song with Julia Michaels.
Yeah.
that
Have a song with Taylor Parks.
it's just unbelievable.
All the things.
Look at you. This is 3?
This is 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Third album. We'll see. Hopefully people like it.
They will. All right, Kelsea Ballerini, always great to see you, my
Thanks,
friend.
you too.
And there she is. Kelsea Ballerini back in a minute here.
Gonna go listen to some AC/DC now.
It's a Bobby Bones show.